Switching off the engine, Lee glances over at Fred. "What you thinking?" she asks, knowing he's bound to be nervous about the situation. Lee has always seen Fred as like a little brother. They've been friends for years, and just recently, Fred shared his inner truth with her. Lee had assumed Fred was going to come out as gay, but to her surprise, it wasn't that. Fred's a girl trapped in a boy's body. Not one to let her friends suffer, Lee did some research, and now the pair sit in a car park together, at the beginning of what she hopes is going to be a life-changing journey. Fred looks up from the pamphlet in his hands and scrunches his face. "Seems a little too good to be true, Lee. Are you sure about this?" Leaning away with a silly look, Lee laughs Fred's worries off. "Yes, now stop overthinking it." "I'm not overthinking it," Fred replies with a sarcastic attitude. "I find it hard to believe I can just turn up at this clinic and they will offer me a new female body." "I'm telling you, it's true," Lee replies with a smug grin. "I read about this one girl. She filled in a few forms, and they asked a few questions, and a week later, they had a match for her. I'm not joking, Fred. She walked out a new man. Literally, a new man." "Pfft," Fred reacts in disbelief. "I find it hard to believe that this place is helping those with gender issues for free. It's too good to be true, Lee, and you know it." Shifting in the passenger seat and folding his arms, he gives her a sus look. "I bet if I go in there, they're going to steal my kidneys or something. Maybe worse. It'll make me go on reality TV." Lee rolls her eyes. "I had you crying in my arms the other night, Fred, distraught about how you wish to be a girl, and now I've offered you a solution. You're not going to at least try it?" Lee leans forward with one finger pointed in his direction. "What have you got to lose?" She grins, poking him playfully in the center of his forehead. "Oi!" Fred whines, batting her hand away from his head. "I told you I don't like it when you do that." "Fine," Lee chuckles. "Are you going to at least check it out? You could be borrowing some of my dresses and skirts within the week. Isn't that exciting?" Shrugging his shoulders, Fred looks over at the entrance to the clinic. Deep in thought, he doesn't say a word. Getting impatient, Lee pokes him again hard in the side. "Get out of your head," she says with a sigh. "I can't help it," Fred replies, only reacting to her jab with a grunt. "You don't understand. All I've ever wanted is to be a girl, and now that dream is right in front of me. I'm terrified that this is a hoax, and I'm going to leave devastated that it didn't come true." Lee stops smiling, and her face becomes somber. "Oh," she says gently. "I guess I never thought about it that way." "Yeah," Fred responds, still staring the clinic down. "I want this so much. Wouldn't it just be my luck that it's a complete scam?" "Nah, it's not a scam." Lee tries to reassure him. "I promise that you'll get to be a pretty girl." The two sit in silence for a moment longer before Fred slowly reaches for the door handle to get out of Lee's car. Excited that he's finally getting out, Lee throws open her side and slams her door closed. Skipping around the front of the car, Lee holds back her long, lush hair and stops just in front of Fred. She tilts her head to one side, juts out her hip, and smirks in his direction. "So, we doing this then?" she asks in jubilation. Fred smirks. "What do you mean, we?" he asks. "You want to become a boy?" Lee blushes and looks away. "No, that's not what I meant." "I know," Fred laughs. Pleased he's made her all embarrassed. "Shame, though. I'd swap bodies with you in a heartbeat." You would?" Lee gasps, covering her wide-open mouth. "I'm ugly. Why on earth would you want to be me?" Fred turns away and scoffs at that idea. He's almost annoyed that she thinks that about herself. Cute button nose, big blue eyes, cute little freckles, and a tight, perky body. Fred says candidly, "You're not ugly, Lee. You're everything I've ever wanted to be."
"Stop!"
Lee squeaks timidly.
"You're embarrassing me."
"I'm just being honest," Fred replies, shrugging his shoulders. "Did you ever wonder why I always ask to swap uniforms after school?" Lee rubs her arm and looks up at the sky in thought.
I guess I thought we were just having fun. You do look cute in my skirts."
"Thanks for being so understanding," Fred replies, reminiscing. "But no, it's not because I look cute in your skirts. It's because I wanted to be you."
Aww.
Lee Lee says, looking deep into Fred's eyes.
You're so cute, Fred. I can't wait for your dream to come true.
Thanks. He nods. Now, do you understand why I'm so worried this is all a scam? I bet any moment now I'm going to wake up from this dream. Ninja quick, Lee pinches Fred on the arm. It causes him to fall backward in pain and yelp out. People around them stare, and this makes Fred even more uncomfortable. Ouch! He squeals, giving Lee a filthy look.
See? Not a dream.
Lee smiles innocently, holding her arms behind her back as she sways from side to side.
It's very much a reality. This time next week, I could be calling you Freddie. Maybe Francis. Or, and this is my personal favorite, Franny.
Franny? Fred smirks. No way am I letting anyone call me that.
Okay then, Franny.
Lee teases, pointing at the entrance to the clinic.
Shall we go inside and find out what this is all about?
Hey all! Sorry for the interruption. Gender Playbooks is delighted to be working with the wonderful people at Femzai. Gender Playbooks promotes being your true self, so it's a match made in heaven. Femzai believes there should be more fashion brands that cater to those who identify outside of the traditional gender binary. Femzai's goal is to provide a safe and inclusive space with their Discord community and the opportunity to find fashion that celebrates your unique style and personality. What you wear and how you present yourself is a huge part of what makes you, you. And Femzai's adorable product range can match your own personal gender identity at affordable prices without compromising on quality. That's why we are delighted to offer a discount code to all of you. Use code GenderPlaybooks at checkout for 15% off your order. Please visit their website, safe, like-minded Discord, and check out their fabulous range of clothing options in the links below. Thanks again, Femzai, for sponsoring the channel.
Fred gives Lee a stern look before his expression softens into a warm smile. Sure, I'm glad you're here with me. Taking hold of Fred's hand, Lee gives him a warm smile back. It's a touching moment between the pair that's quickly broken up as Lee pulls him in the direction of the door.
I'm so happy you've trusted me, but let's not waste any more time.
As they approach, the building looks very unassuming and bland. If it wasn't for the gender symbols plastered about the door, you'd never know this was a gender clinic. Pushing open the large glass doors, both Lee and Fred enter the small reception room and approach the small counter in the far corner. Sitting behind the desk is a young male with a big smile on his face. They pass an empty seating area as they both walk slowly closer towards the counter. Fred starts to get nervous and almost stops still. However, Lee, with a hand on his back, pushes him forward. Being encouraged to approach the employee behind the counter, and with Lee's hand on his back, Fred gets even more nervous and very tongue-tied. He can't shake the idea that some influencer is going to jump out behind a chair and shove a camera in his face, exposing him as trans. Hey, he greets the man behind the desk with a mumble, looking in every direction for that pesky influencer that's going to jump out. Hello, the man behind the counter replies, giving them both a friendly smile. My name is Elliot. How can I assist you today? Swallowing down hard, Fred struggles to get any words out. There's a small tree in the corner, and Fred can't stop imagining that it's really a person with a camera cleverly hidden. Elliot tilts his head to the side and gives Fred a puzzled look. Is there something I can help you with? Feeling the tension growing, Lee places a comforting hand around Fred's side. She gently nudges him. Go on, Fred, she whispers. I'm right here with you. Fred gulps and glances nervously over his shoulder at Lee. She's giving him the biggest smile he's ever seen. She then nods in the direction of the receptionist and mouths, Go on. Fred stutters, standing at the receptionist's desk, looking down at his hands. I want to be a girl! Behind the counter, Elliot gives a broad, toothy grin and turns his body to face the reception PC. Okay then, miss, Elliot replies with the soft grace of an ASM artist. Shall we register you in the system? Fred doesn't say anything. He just continues to stare down at his feet. However, he does manage to nod in agreement. Okay then, Elliot says gleefully, clicking the computer mouse in front of him several times. Firstly, I'll take your name, and then we will establish what you are looking for.
First step achievement.
Lee whispers proudly in Fred's ear.
I'm going to go sit down while you register. Come find me when you're done.
Fred nods as he watches Elliot work his PC. As Lee sits in the waiting area, Fred scratches nervously at his arm. He's desperate for this to be true and not a scam. He can't help himself. He has to know. Is this a scam? He blurts out uncomfortably. Elliot, a little shocked at Fred's behavior, stops typing and looks up from his screen. Leaning back in his chair, he slowly grins. A scam? Elliot asks. Now, why would you think this is a scam? Bright red, Fred feels like a silly goose. I don't know, he answers timidly, glaring at the person tree in the corner, assuming it's going to jump out at any second. I just don't believe this is possible, is all. Oh, my dear child, Elliot remarks with a giggle. It's 100% possible. Have you read our pamphlet? Fred looks at the pamphlet stacked neatly on the counter in front of him. He picks one up and opens it. Pretending to read it, Fred nods. Yeah, I skimmed over it briefly on the way over here. He lies, knowing that he's read it over and over again at home since Lee gave it to him. Briefly, Elliot asks sarcastically. How about I explain the process from start to finish? Would that be useful before I register you as the donor? Please, he says politely. I'm a little bit worried about this, so explaining it all would be great. Thank you. No problem, Elliot says, reaching out for one of the pamphlets. Opening it out fully on the counter, Elliot points at the top left corner. Did you know, Elliot says, tapping the corner several times, gender dysphoria affects over 20% of the general public. What was clear to our founder-in-chief at the time was that people needed his help. So in 2049, our founder pioneered nanomachine technology, which allowed consciousness to be placed into a digitized state. Digitized? Fred questions, looking at the pamphlet. Yes, Elliot smiles. It allows for the seamless transfer of one's consciousness and personality to be moved from one body to another. In short, our founder invented an actual body-swapping machine. Body swapping? Fred asked, looking at the picture of a very high-tech machine in the pamphlet. So, if I become a girl, I won't be in my body anymore? Like, my brain gets transferred into another body? To a degree, that is correct, Elliot replies. To be more factual with you, your entire personality, memories, and everything that makes you gets copied. It's then moved into your new donor body, which matches your desired needs. Then your information overwrites the previous consciousness inside that body. Overwrite? Fred asks uneasily. So, they get deleted or something? Is that what you're saying? No! Elliot laughs politely, like he's heard that question 1,000,000 times. The person you swap bodies with will have their consciousness transferred into your old body. You want to become a female, yes? Yeah, Fred says quietly, still too shy to say that out loud in public. So, the idea is that once we've found a person who's assigned female from birth that wants to become male, we discuss a body trade between you. Elliot explains. We need the both of you to agree that you want to become each other. Make sense? I think so, Fred replies. So, does that mean I have to wait until a match is found? Bingo, Elliot replies with a wide smile. Don't worry though, we usually have matches found pretty quickly. We also offer a rehabilitation service. This helps you adjust to your new gender norms. How do you find me a match? Fred asks, curious to see what female bodies are on offer to him. Nodding in response to his questions, Elliot folds the pamphlet up and places it back onto the pile. How old are you? Elliot inquires, turning back to his PC screen. 21, Fred answers, leaning over the counter trying to sneak a look at the PC screen. Elliot types on his keyboard. And how tall? Elliot asks. Fred looks down at himself, trying to remember his height. I'm 5'9". Elliot types again. Your weight? 135 pounds. Fred answers, wobbling his slightly plump stomach. Elliot murmurs, typing and clicking away frantically at his computer. Fred waits patiently, not sure if Elliot's mumbles are good or bad. He does his best to look at the PC screen without making it obvious. Good news, Elliot says, eventually turning back to face Fred. We've got 3 donors currently in that age, weight, and height bracket. 3? Fred asks with a hint of excitement. Can I see what they look like? I take that you're interested in our service then? Elliot grins, turning his PC screen away so Fred can't see. Shall we get you registered? Blushing at being caught trying to spy, Fred anxiously smiles. Please,